Alright, boys and girls, what are you guys doing? It has come to my attention that we have just about scoured this Mojave wasteland and gathered just about everything of value. We have all the power armor that I have graciously given to you guys. We've gathered the snow globes up in my lucky tower here. We have all the star bottle caps a man could ever want. We have all sorts of stuff stored away. But before I leave this land, I've heard that there are some ancient vaults from before the Great War down below in various places. I have marked 6 locations of various vaults on our maps. And before we leave, we're gonna do a big heist of all the vaults. I have assigned each of you your own location, and I will meet you there. Let's move out, team. Alright, we're approaching Vault 3 here. Boone should be waiting for us. You know, this is right in the middle of Fiend territory. I figured I'd come up against some more opposition on my way in. Boone, you okay, buddy? Okay, look. I know I gave you the only power armor set that doesn't actually work, but it was NCR power armor, so like, you were part of the NCR. It felt like a good fit for you, man. Come on, you don't need power armor. Look what you did. Like, you don't need that stuff. Don't be mad at me, please. Please, for the love of God, don't be mad at me. Hey, let's go explore the vault, shall we?
I've got your back.
Oh, we're all good. Alright. So Vault 3 is obviously a vault overrun by fiends by the time you get to it. This is actually their main base of operations. When you get to the final room in the maintenance wing, you are met with their leader, Motor Runner, and his 2 dogs who, can be easily dispatched at times when you have a psycho ex-NCR soldier with you. But you may find that most of the vault is home to a ton of broken terminals, so it's kind of hard to figure out what quite happened to this vault before the war. Every vault has an experiment in it, except for 17 control vaults that Vault-Tec dotted around the US. This was actually one of the 17 control vaults, and by finding terminals you find mostly normal entries that talk about birthday parties and dinner invites and elections, and everyone lived a quite normal life here. It was only until there was a water leak and they needed to venture out into the wasteland to fix it that things went wrong. Guess they didn't have the chosen one or the vault dweller to back them up. But you also learn that when they opened things up, they weren't quite aware of what had happened to the outside world, and the fiends took advantage of that.
I guess it isn't a secret. Yeah, the residents of the vault are all dead. We killed them. Funny thing is, they just let us in. We didn't have to force the doors or anything.
Yes. The fiends barged in, killed all the residents, and took this as their home base. This is an example of one vault that could have ended very smoothly, but was ruined by the outside world. The most notable bit of loot you'll find here is actually just a unique armor piece worn by Motor Runner. It is his helmet. Nothing too special about it, but if you're after unique weapons and armory, you might want to stop here for his helmet. Other than that, not much point to go here other than quest lines. The next vault on the map in numerical order is gonna be Vault 11 here, next to the El Dorado Dry Lake, and we have Arcade Ganon, who's come back from the Enclave, to assist us with this one, because I feel like the moral dilemma in this one would appeal to his thinking mind. So, let's jump on in.
Lead the way.
Immediately upon entering this bug-infested vault, you're met with not one, not two, not three, but 4 dead bodies right here at the entrance. And a security recording on the terminal ahead of you.
Are we really gonna do this? It's open. We could just leave.
I couldn't. Not after that.
We don't deserve to leave. A shining example. That's what it called us. But we were. We did what we were supposed to. Not by a long shot. Anybody would have done what we did.
You ask me? That's exactly the problem. Now let's get on with this.
I'll go first. Wait. People should know what happened. They could learn from it. If there's anyone out there at all, I hope they never have to find out. Ready, Harry? Yeah. No, wait!
But wait, there were 5 voices on that recording, and only 4 gunshots. 4 gunshots for 4 bodies by the entrance. We're gonna need to explore this vault a bit further to find out exactly what happened. Throughout the vault, you find various posters plastered on the wall about some sort of election. Rumors about Haley are baseless. Vote Stone for Overseer. I hate Nate. And then another with the N crossed out. I hate Kate instead. Haley is a known adulterer and communist sympathizer. Elect Haley for Overseer. Glove has done nothing wrong. Vote for Stone. A lot of these posters appear to be pretty contradictory. As you go further down in the vault, you begin to realize that none of these electoral candidates really want to be elected as Overseer. Despite all this election nonsense, before it ever came to be, you hear there was a murderer in the vault killing people. And by reading this terminal entry, it appears the murderer was caught and was Catherine Stone herself, who committed the murders in order to thin out the votes so that her husband would not be elected, which in the long run probably gained her the votes for herself to be elected in the first place, because it seems people want the lesser winner to be the Overseer, and she's a murderer, so let's elect her, right? You eventually learn that the one that won the election was Catherine Stone, and as her first Overseer order, she appears to change the election process. Instead of a voting election, it becomes a random number generator. And that seems to make a lot of the other residents pretty mad.
She can't do this. It's done. We're done. Nothing's done. She's got the authority. The only thing she can't do is change her own fate. Nothing says she can't change the selection process for future Overseers. I say she can't. You shouldn't have toyed with her like that, Roy. We still have the majority. We don't vote for anything anymore. I'm not talking about voting. What then? You want to have a sit-in? A hunger strike? Not exactly. Maybe march into her office with torches and pitchforks? Yes. Come on. I mean it. What? Start a revolution? Laws don't outlast their governments. Roy, all we have to do is wait until someone from Justice Block gets picked for Overseer. Then we have them change the law back. There won't be any blocks after the new Overseer is picked tomorrow. Everyone's going to move on. By the time we've reformed, who knows if we'll still be in the majority? We can hold the block together. You don't know that. Besides, what if the computer picks you? What if it picks me? And your solution is to start shooting? Not if we don't have to. Look, we arm up. We go to the lower floors, take some strategic targets. Power, food, water. Just until she turns authority over to us. The other blocks won't support it. They're tired of us having the power. We have the majority. We don't need them. This isn't a vote, Roy. They'll fight back. They've never had the nerve. Hell of a way to test it.
Diving further and further down, find more and more battlements and barricades set up, suggesting they really did go down and attempt to storm the Overseer's office. You eventually find a prepared speech of another Overseer, stating that apparently the election is in order to sacrifice someone to the vaults every year, but no one knows why. Not even the first Overseer quite knew why. And he was the first one to die from it. He was fully aware of the sacrifices and that they would take place, but he had no idea why. And since then, every year, this vault has been electing people to become Overseer just so they may die and sacrifice themselves to the vaults. So all that remains, now that you have the password, is to head to the Overseer's office.
Congratulations, Martyr. Your fantastic journey is only just beginning. Please proceed to the light.
And walk down the hallway yourself to the sacrificial chamber.
The light is calming and puts your mind at ease. Go to the light. Welcome. Please sit in the chair. The show is about to begin. Greetings, Martyr, and welcome. If you're here now, it means you've been offered up as a sacrifice so that your vault can continue to thrive. Currently, you may be feeling sad or angry. Perhaps you never got to have grandkids, or to enjoy the pleasures of a fresh cigar. But march with your chin held high, soldier, and remember that each of us has an important role to play. For some people, their role might be to heal the sick. For others, it might mean they will drive a race car or fly a rocket ship. And some of us are meant to forfeit our lives for the good of the people. Sure, it might not be as fun as driving a race car, but it's every bit as important. Let's take a moment to reflect on the moments that made your life worth living. Think about that time you kissed your steady girl for the first time under the bleachers at the big game. Or when you snuck out after curfew to catch that new flick that your parents wouldn't let you see because it was too scary. Boy, were they right. And who could forget when you met the love of your life? What a looker. These are just examples. Do you feel that feeling stirring in your chest as you think of these things? Good. What you are feeling is peace. You've led a great life. Living it has been its own reward. But it is only the beginning. Close your eyes now and imagine what joys await you in the next life. The afterlife. Can you see them? Good.
And as the tape ends, you learn how these people were sacrificed. They were sacrificed by an onslaught of robots at the end of the room. And you find a door that leads to the Vault 11 mainframe, where you can override the lockdown. You can download 2 recordings as well. First of which is the Vault 11 solution.
Alright, I know you can hear me, so listen up. There's 5 of us left. 5 out of I don't know how many. So, it's over. We've talked and it's over. We're not gonna send anybody to die anymore. So shut off our water, our gases, or do whatever it is you're programmed to do. But we're done listening to you.
And then you have the automated response.
Congratulations, citizens of Vault 11. You have made the decision not to sacrifice one of your own. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your commitment to human life is a shining example to us all. And to make that feeling of pride even sweeter, I have some exciting news. Despite what you were led to believe, the population of Vault 11 is not going to be exterminated for its disobedience. Instead, the mechanism to open the main vault door has now been enabled, and you can come and go at your leisure. But not so fast. Be sure to check with your overseer to find out if it's safe to leave. Here at Vault-Tec, your safety is our #1 priority.
So there you have it. The story of Vault 11. A vault that forced its citizens to sacrifice one of their own every year under threats of extermination and violence. A vault that led to a civil war within its walls over who would be overseer, corruption under every candidate. Nobody wanted to be the overseer. Nobody wanted to be voted in. But everyone did the voting out of fear. And eventually, when there were just 5 left, those 5 few said no. And nothing happened. They were released from the vault, met up at the entrance, and 4 out of 5 bodies remain there to this day, with evidence of 4 gunshots going off and a 5th voice disappearing from the vault. Vault 19, home of the Powder Gangers. And they're powder gangers that don't want to instantly kill you. Lily was kind of the odd companion out here. And there's no really important reason to send anyone to this vault, so I just kind of sent her here. Let's head on in.
Alright, dearie, let's go.
As you enter Vault 19, one thing becomes clear instantly. There are 2 leaders of the Powder Gangers here, and the Powder Gangers are divided into a red and blue section, but as you continue, it seems that is very much similar to how the original residents were. This vault originally had 2 overseers, and it had some people that lived in the red sector, and some that lived in the blue sector. Now, it was the overseer's job to cause paranoia between the sections through non-violent and non-chemical means. They used whatever they could to make these people paranoid of each other. As such, you can find complaints all over the living quarters about people seeing things and thinking they're going crazy, getting paranoid that the other side is after them. Poison coming through the vents, children hearing weird sounds, people seeing lights blinking in what they believe to be an SOS signal. All sorts of different things going on, strange things to make these people go against each other. Combine that with the fact that there was a water filtration system error in the vault, and the whole thing is built above a giant sulfur cave filled with irradiated gecko monsters. You put all that together, it's kind of hard to tell what exactly happened to this vault. The whole thing's sort of a mess. All the residents disappeared, and the powder gangers moved in after them. Now, it's your choice what happens to the powder gangers here. You can actually convince them to leave and go join up with the Great Khans, or you can collapse the caves and or destroy the entire vault with them in it. Isn't it fun to have choices?
That was a bad one, wasn't it, Leo?
The next vault on the list lets us take a little bit of a break. We've actually headed back to the strip here. We are at the Vault 21 Hotel here with Cass. I figured she would be nice to bring along because of her gambling and drinking problems. So let's head on in, Cass.
Let's hit the road.
She already wants to leave. I'm gonna be honest, there's really not much going on here in Vault 21. The story behind it is that when Mr. House started buying up all the property on the strip, he bought this vault from he gambled this vault away from its original dwellers, won it in, I want to say, a poker match, and he then kicked them all out, turned it into a hotel, and literally cemented off the lower levels. So you only have the upper level full of rooms that function as hotel rooms now. Can't even get to the reactor or the overseer's office or anything and figure out what's going on here. Now, the main treasure you're going to find in this vault is a person. You have Sarah Weintraub at the main entryway, and if you give her enough suits in the game from different vaults, you can actually be invited into her room for a little bit of a fun time.
Yep. Hey, stranger. Where you been, huh? I missed you.
Yeah, pass by the room and we'll catch up.
You're kicking me into gear, huh? Well, I think I'll drive my chassis over to your pad. Wait for me down there, and don't forget the oil.
Don't worry, Cass. I'll be, down in the room with Sarah. I'll be right back. Don't worry. Oh, well, wasn't that fun, wasn't it? Oh, man, Cass, look, I swear this isn't what it looks like. You know what, there are casinos and whiskey out there. Why don't you go get some? What have I done? Oh, well, Cass is not gonna be happy about that. Let's spend some time with our other female companion, waiting outside of Vault 22. Yep, we got Veronica here.
Aw, just when the standing around was getting exciting.
Alright, let's head on in. Vault 22 is probably the most famous and popular vault in the game, the one most players go through throughout the course of their playthrough. It is surrounded by green vegetation, something you don't see very often in the wasteland. As you go in, you find this same green vegetation everywhere, but start to learn about what happened here. And it's not all green grass on the other side. Pun intended. This vault was designed to experiment and work on ways to farm and increase agricultural productivity. in the future once they are released. So they start working on a certain type of fungus. The name is escaping me right now. I'll show it on the screen. And everything is going well for them until a doctor gets injured. The doctor is sent to the medical ward, Dr. Peters, and he turns out to have very severe symptoms. Very severe. They think it's a sort of pneumonia at first, but it just gets worse and worse, and then more and more people in the vault start getting the same symptoms until eventually Dr. Peters passes away. Now they are quarantining everyone else in the vault, but it continues to spread throughout the vents, and eventually something happens with Dr. Peters. That's right, Dr. Peters gets reanimated as a spore carrier, as do eventually all the other residents of the vaults. That don't just die and get killed by the other spore carriers, of course. So it turns out the fungus, the bacteria, the whatever, on the screen again, was actually highly infective and somehow spelled the doom for this entire vault. Now when you arrive, you are usually sent here on a mission by Dr. Thomas Hildern of the NCR to retrieve the agricultural data forged on by this vault and its studies. You find Dr. Keeley, a ghoul, down in the lowest levels of the caves, and she wants you to destroy the information, knowing that if anyone got their hands on it and thought it to be a good thing, it would just spread this plague across the wasteland. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if some random female courier sold that information to Hildern? Oh dear. Oh shit. Oh well. Oh yeah, I got the data.
Wonderful. Excellent work. Let me see it. It'll take a moment to decode on my terminal.
Oh yeah. Oh. Make it fast. I want my caps.
If the data's intact, you'll get your reward. I gave my word. I'm not the kind of wasteland savage you're used to dealing with. I think William's decryption algorithms seem to be working. Yes, here it is. The data is mostly uncorrupted. This will make the board of directors finally sit up and take notice. Here then, as promised, an agreeable sum payable upon delivery of the data. You've more than done your part.
Oh yeah. Damn right. No thanks to you, of course.
I'm sorry you feel that way. We both came out ahead, so no harm done, I hope. Of course. We're all very grateful for your efforts, and I'll make certain that you're credited in our final report. Good day to you.
Yeah, no harm done, buddy. Make sure you definitely credit me for everything that comes about from this. Alright, Raul, quickly, before the sins of my past catch up with me, there's a botanical plague that will soon be spread across the wasteland, apparently. This is the last vault, buddy. I heard it's highly radioactive. That's why I wanted you, the ghoul, to go in with me.
Right behind you, boss.
That's the enthusiasm I love. Vault 34 is another simple but tragic story, and there's not much to go on by the terminal entries in the vault itself. Basically, the experiment here was to severely overpopulate the vault and keep an armory stuffed to the brim with various weaponry, explosives, and other fun stuff. So I don't know what exactly the goal here was, but basically it got way too populated here, and a bunch of the citizens of the vault decided to try and raid the armory, and in the attack on the armory, they ended up damaging the reactor, and the whole place became irradiated as hell. Like, there are literally hordes of ghouls in this single vault, and I'm sure some alternate universe courier just on his way to New Vegas got his ass stomped here and had to come back after regrouping. But yeah, this is a kind of tragic one, because honestly, the experiment in itself shouldn't have really done anything. The people got all riled up and ruined it by attacking the vault and damaging the reactor. You do get a little bit of a choice here. There are some people captive down in the vault reactor, and you can reroute control to them and get them out of there freely, or you can do what the NCR wants and reroute the water from the reactor to the farms, which dooms the people in here. What a fun decision, right? Doom them all. Look, guys, I'm sorry. I know we just went through a lot, okay? I know we went through a lot, and some of you are very, very pissed off at some things that happened, but, like, and there was no treasure in, like, any of those vaults. Nothing worth mentioning. Guys, can you forgive me? Come on, don't end it like this. I got you all together. And we had a fun time. We heisted all of the vaults for absolutely nothing, but that's beside the point. Look at what we did. We can accomplish so much more together, right? Right? Ugh, all my friends hate me now. Man, I need a vacation. I think we all... Look. You guys do your thing. We all need a vacation from each other. Figure it out on your own. Man, those guys, I'd do everything for them. Let's see, there's just my snow globe collection. Like, we went through all of these places with them. Man, I just need somewhere else I can go. Nice and empty.